Jet, Aaron Glenn, the Bill Parcells protege. Now we start to evaluate Aaron Glenn on what he is as a football coach. And it's very early, and I think we all, I shouldn't say we all, I still have a lot of faith in Aaron Glenn for sure. I think that he's going to get this thing cranked around. It's not going to be easy. But the thing that was very appealing about Aaron, like when he first took command here, Sal, is that, he was refreshingly in charge. Like right away you got the sense that Aaron Glenn, had a focus and a business-like mentality, really the opposite of Robert Saleh, where he stepped to the front of the Jets building and you felt like the leadership was in good hands. Now, it's too early after 2 games to say that it's the right choice, it's not the right choice, but here's what we know. He's a defensive guy. The Jets have a lot of good defensive players. They've given up 30 points in both games. They've yet to really get rid of all the penalties that we've talked about. And, the deeper that this thing goes, you have, to your point, you have to worry about all the other stuff. And like we all know what I mean when I say stuff. All the other stuff that just seems to work its way onto the Jets' radar. And you've got to be a special person to kind of stifle that. So the quicker that this man can get a win, the better.
Yeah, I do think he is that special person that could stifle it. However, there is a reason why many good coaches have failed here, even good quarterbacks have failed here, but yet went on to have success elsewhere. He's battling, Glenn is in this particular case, battling the history. He's battling New York, the media. Like, there's a lot, and then battling the opponents, obviously, each Sunday. Like, there's a lot of factors at play that go into that negative cloud that at some point, you're going to have to be given the leeway to get over it. And I don't think he's certainly not on a hot seat in year one, but the fact that he was the media darling in the offseason and loved all the quotes, and then they go out there and perform the way that they do, losing both the games. You could say, yeah, week 1 was a moral victory and great, but then they wash it down with getting beaten. By the way, Miami's performance last night did not help the Jets, where Miami did what maybe the Jets could have done or should have, what we expected them to do, make it a competitive game. Remember, the Jets were at home, Miami on the road playing a tighter game against Buffalo, so that to me doesn't make the Jets look good. The losing is going to create more problems and chaos, and that is what we're going to really learn about Glenn. He's got to stay true to himself. I don't want to see him bending, folding, mincing. I don't want to see any of it. Stay true to himself, but ultimately, they've got to have some kind of results to help him get there eventually.
Well, I mean, he's in a different, I don't say different. He's in a unique spot in this regard. Like, you look at all the Jets, or at least a lot of the Jets coaches that had these massive rebuilds, right? Obviously Parcells coming in for Kotite is the biggest one when the Jets came off a 3-win season and a 1-win season and back-to-back in 95, 96. So it's a million years ago. We all know that, but that was the biggest rebuild job. I in a lot of ways, Sal, I think that it's almost a disservice to Aaron Glenn, because when we talk about this Jets team, going back to why Aaron Rodgers came, a couple of years ago in the first place, it was because they were on the precipice of being very good because the Jets had a lot of talent.
Right.
And I think that almost offsets how big of a rebuilding job this is. Like, they're 2 very separate things. Number one, is there some talent in the building? And the answer is undeniably yes. I think everybody knows that. But the greater issue is, how do you rid the stench of 15 years of losing? And I think because there are some big names and some good players here, Sauce, Garrett, Q, we know the names, we tend to overlook just how big of a rebuild this is, and maybe it's unrealistic as to what we think Aaron Glenn could do in year 1.
Yeah, well, that's why you've heard me. I'm trying to be as fair as possible with Aaron Glenn and the Jets. I'm not judging their season on results. However, other people are. And when you're dealing with the history, when you're dealing with the New York media and the pressure that comes along with it, maybe the biggest part, and this is why I wanted Pete Carroll here, you referenced Parcells. What's the difference with Pete Carroll and Bill Parcells versus Aaron Glenn? Those guys were proven winners. It's not that Aaron Glenn can never be a winner. It's that we don't know his track record. There is none. So if Bill Parcells could come in here and say it his way or the highway, it's based with there's a lot there. There's merit to it because he's been a winner before at the highest of levels. That's why I said Pete Carroll, because if you hire Pete Carroll, now that eliminates the unknown question of is this the right guy? And if things go wrong, Pete Carroll's going to be positive. He knows how to get through because he's done it before. So he's earned the benefit of the doubt. Whereas a rookie head coach, as promising as he may be, Todd Bowles, Aaron Glenn, Robert Saleh, like pick one, doesn't matter. They haven't earned that because it's a first-time thing. So that's also a part that Glenn's dealing with, which to me, if you're a first-time head coach and you have all this losing to overcome and you're dealing with the New York media, you better start winning sooner than later. And for if you're looking at the Jets schedule and now no starting quarterback here, dude, Bucks are good. All of a sudden, Miami, to me, is not a layup that we thought maybe it would be. The Jets got to win. These next 3 weeks are imperative that the Jets come away with, in my mind, BT, at least a couple of wins.
Yeah, and I think it's got to start with the defense here. I mean, I almost think I would feel better if the Jets lost, if they were still 0-2, but they lost 2 games, 17-6.
Right.
Like, nobody really knows, and we know that Justin Fields is not playing this week, but nobody really knows what he's going to be when he comes back, and if he's here beyond this year, because the Jets actually could get out of his contract after this year. It's a fairly minimal 20-year investment in a mid-20s quarterback with some talent, and they kicked the tires, and I like what they did with I think it's a smart move rather than latching on to some retread.
He was great in week 1, awful week 2. Okay, so maybe somewhere in between.
Yeah, I was going to say the answer is probably somewhere in between, but to me, the Jets defense, I really think if Aaron Glenn's going to get this thing turned around fast, it's got to start with the things that he sold us on at the outset, and that was, removing the team of dumb mistakes and selfish mistakes and penalties, and I don't want to get too, matchup drift, certainly in the first segment of the show here, but I'll just say this: the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line, Sal, is absolutely decimated.
Yeah, I know.
It's decimated.
And look, even with Tyrod, I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. Tyrod Taylor is a proven winner.
Absolutely.
He's a proven pro quarterback. Exactly right. And maybe even better at throwing the football and making plays through the air than Justin Fields. Obviously not the dual threat that Fields could be at his peak. And obviously, older and toward the end of his career where Fields is still in the prime of his career. So there's a drop-off. There's a reason why Fields is a starter and Tyrod isn't. Tyrod Taylor has been a successful starter in the NFL. So I don't think the chances drop that significantly from, in my mind, the Jets being able to go in there and win this game against Tampa Bay, who's a very good football team, but as you mentioned, banged up on the offensive line. Hey, they got to start winning some games. The other part of it, to your point about the defense, people starting to talk about Wilkes. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, but Glenn chose Wilkes.
Mm-hmm.
So whether Boomer likes him or not, or you or I like him or don't, whatever, or the callers like him, that shouldn't matter. Glenn chose him. It's 2 weeks. Wilkes has been proven to be a solid defensive coordinator to a point where he's gotten opportunities as head coach, obviously. But leave it alone, because this is how things get bad. Jets lose week 3 to the Bucs. Jets lose to the Cowboys, even if they beat the Dolphins, whatever. And the losing starts them out. Defense isn't great. And then Woody hears the media and the fans. Then he maybe wants to do something about it, and then you start getting your hands involved in Glenn's coaching staff. Now you're upsetting Glenn. I'm not saying that this is going to happen this year, but that's the path to disaster, which we've seen too many times. Lay off.
Yeah. Well, and listen, that's why, let's face it, Sal, that's why the Jets' job really is one of the worst jobs in football. Because when things go wrong, it goes wrong 9 levels deeper than every other franchise, just about, because of the ownership, because of the history, because of the tortured fan base. Listen, God, this is not a situation. We can't forget this, Sal. This is not a situation. We'll get to the calls, obviously, here. Jet fans, listen, you got to show something this week. You really have to.
Yeah.
This is not a situation where Aaron Glenn walked in and they've got, seven rookies playing on defense. They got some big names. Now they got a couple of guys who are making big bucks. Sauce got paid. Glenn's a defensive guy. Steve Wilkes, to your point, the coordinator, is a former head coach. You got to start figuring this out. Otherwise, as much as we all believe and love and are rooting for Aaron Glenn, one thing we know about the tsunami of Jets negativity, I don't care who you are. If you don't get off on the right foot, it's going to derail and eventually swallow you up like it does everybody else.
I do trust, though, that of all the recent examples that have failed, Glenn has the right attitude and is tougher than anybody else mentally to be able to deal with it.
Me too, because he's been here. He gets it.
Right. The problem is those things get away from you quickly when other people start meddling if you continue to lose. At the very least, if they don't get a win, they've got to show more of what they looked like in week 1
no question.
than week 2. Otherwise, this this thing could go off the rails rather quickly. BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Eric starts us off in Rivervale, New Jersey. What's up, Eric?
Sal, BT. How we doing, gentlemen?
Good.
What's up, buddy?
Glad to have you back, BT. Good, you're feeling better. You're feeling much better than you did earlier this week. So
Thank you.
There you go.
Thanks, man. I missed it. Thank you. What's going on?
On our Jets, man, I didn't come into this season with unreasonable expectations, right? I mean, these first two games I didn't necessarily expect to win. I was pleasantly surprised in week one. But you kind of hit what my issue is with this Jets team is it's not even the wins and the losses. It's how they show up. I mean, we're not going to win games where we're giving up 34 and 30 points respectively. That's never going to happen. This team is not built that way. So to me, with Tyrod Taylor does present a different opportunity, I think, at quarterback to throw the ball because, let's be honest, Bowles knows exactly what the Jets are going to do. They're going to try to run the football, and he's going to pin their ears back, and he's going to send everybody, which is exactly what Buffalo did last week. We couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
Justin Fields clearly has a struggle throwing the ball and establishing a passing game. So if this team is going to be one-dimensional, that's going to be a problem on offense. And then defense, I don't know what is happening with Steve Wilks. None of it looks creative. I can see what he's doing. So these teams, so like Aaron Rodgers and then in Buffalo with help me out.
Josh.
Exactly. With Josh Allen, the league MVP. I mean, he's going to pick these guys apart, and he's going to see what this guy's doing. So, to me, I understand Steve Wilks has experience, but he hasn't shown it in these past 2 weeks.
No.
And this team has to show up differently. If they can, keep this game close, to your point, if it's a low-scoring game, 2017, whatever, they cover the spread and lose, I'm fine with that. I'm not expecting this team to win 8, 9, 10 games. I mean, we need a quarterback. The Jets are going to draft in the top 5 likely.
All right, fair
8, 9
and
wins.
thank you for the call, Eric. I get it, BT. And after week one, honestly, even I was like, I mean, if Fields plays like that, I didn't believe that he could. But if he does play like that, maybe they can win 8 or 9 games. And by the way, their schedule really does soften up in the second part of the year. And that's where you want to see, in the beginning, especially in today's day and age in the NFL with no preseason, you want to start to see your team figure out who they are. Then, by the second half of the schedule, you want to see them in the Jet spot. I'm not talking about every team. In the Jet spot, then you want to see them say, okay, this is who we are. This is how we're now going to start to win games. And then give you hope, close out strong, give you reason to believe that next year you could build off of it. So all that is still there for the Jets. I'm with you. I don't need them to necessarily win. I think of the next 3, they've got to win at least one. But just get back to playing competitive, competent football while trying to establish your identity for this season.
Yeah, and listen, that's what it's about. Eventually, you're going to need a win to reinforce the messaging that's going on the practice field and inside the film room and inside the building. I mean, otherwise it becomes hollow, and everybody's like, okay, well, it sounds good, but we're 0-7, we're 1-9. I'm not even saying the Jets, anybody. We're 1-12. What? How much positivity can I actually take from what's being said? At some point, you need something tangible to present itself, and really. Even though they lost the Steelers game, to me, it was tangible enough where it felt good, it looked different, but it was such a stark reversal, such a quick flip where it was dispiriting. And I think we're going to get a sense, an early, we're not going nuts, an early look at, how Aaron's able to reprogram a building after a gut punch. And that's one of the steps you got to take as a young head coach. I don't necessarily have a feel for which Jet team comes out on Sunday. I don't know because there's no evidence here with Aaron as a coach. But I'll tell you this, if we're sitting here on Monday and they lose 30-7, it's going to feel really wrong. It's going to feel off.
Everybody, if that is the case, even the biggest Aaron Glenn supporters are going to feel like, here we go again. And there's no way to prevent that because we've seen it happen too many times.
Yeah.
That is a tsunami that is tough to stop. Once you get to that level, again, it's only week 3. I'm not saying he's going to be fired or anything like that, but you know what's going to happen.
That's the energy that gets out of control.
It does. And then it's going to be about one of the coordinators. In this particular case, Wilks is going to be the groundwork is already being laid. Like Wilks is going to be the first guy on the chopping block. People look at him as a coach who's been fired, a failed head coach before. Defense is underachieving through 2 weeks. He's going to be the first guy up. To me, that would be a disaster to get involved with Aaron Glenn's coaching staff. And the fact that we're even talking about it entering week 3 is already a problem. Glenn needs to figure out a way to stop that now by getting his team to play on Sunday. Anthony's calling from Harlem. What's up, Ant?
Hey, Ant.
Good morning, boys. Happy Football Friday.
You too.
Listen, you know how I feel about Aaron Glenn. And I think it's going to take a lot of patience in this town because it's going to take time to turn this. But here's what I want to see on Sunday, right? I've seen this defense in 2 games get teams into 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9. And stubbornly, I don't know if it's Glenn or it's Wilkes, they're just saying, we're playing man-to-man. And a good quarterback like Baker's going to go, there's Brandon Stevens on Emeka Ibuka, and he's going to pick on that one guy. Now, I want to see Glenn this week. I don't want to see him take over the defense, but I want to see him maybe talk to Wilkes and say, hey, let's be a little more diverse. Let's do some different things. Let's disguise some coverages. Because I think we're playing too much man-to-man, and maybe we're not built to do that. That's what a good head coach should do. He should help his coordinator out and coach. I want to see them do that this year. I want to see him coach it up this week and make the game close. That's what I'd like to see.
One thing in, and thanks for the call, I'm already hearing some excuses. I don't know if you guys caught this, but basically Steve Wilkes was saying, well, it's not really schematical. It's, basically saying guys aren't in the right spot. I mean, it's a little early to say that. I mean, you don't really have the equity in that room. So if you're a Jet defensive player and you've got a first-year defensive coordinator basically saying it ain't me, it's you, I mean, you do run the risk of alienating some of those players here.
Yeah, I know.
It's early to do that.
But I'd rather see the Jets and their coaching staff lay the foundation of making it on the players. We're here, like if I'm Aaron Glenn, we're here. They hired me to do this job. I know how to get the job done. I need my time to get the job done. I hired these people because I believe in them, our staff. Let us do what we need to do. Coach the way we need to coach. Say what we need to say. Like, I would not be trying to meddle in any of that. Now, the media's job is to, part of it, the reporters, they're going to go try and look for any angle that they possibly can. I would try to be as patient as possible. My advice or warning to Aaron Glenn is that if you don't start winning, they're going to be coming for you, your staff, and that creates that toxic environment that has led to so many failures over and over again with this organization or even in this city with teams failing.
Well, that's something I want to get into coming up next year. I thought that Aaron Glenn made a mistake earlier in the week here. You and I was basically on my deathbed for 2 days. We did text about this, so I want to get into that a little bit, and it's something that he's got to rectify, and it's not necessarily a fatal mistake, but it could be if he keeps going back to it. So we could get to that, obviously. BT and Sal, 888-808-1019 is the number on a Football Friday. We got it all for you. Obviously, the perfect parlay. We got the Giants in there, Yanks and the Mets as well. Hey, this fall, hydrate like the pros with home water delivery at water.com from Primo Brands. Water.com features your favorite Primo products from Poland Spring to Pure Life to Saratoga, all delivered right to your door. Get a couple of cases for the big game or a 5-gallon bottle for the whole household. Get what you need when you need it with no heavy lifting or last-minute store runs at water.com. Signing up is easy. Select your water, choose your frequency, and enjoy your delivery. Just use code BASEBALL to get 50% off your first order, plus free delivery. Step up to the plate. Stay refreshed all season long. Order now at water.com.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I look forward to breaking down that game with you, but I know we do have some NFL news to get into and talk about.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Here are the fundamentals that have helped Nielsen Dodge make customers for life. There's always zero down payment available. We'll always give you up to $1,500 over book value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo X 4x4, just $299 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Willys 4xE, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
Fun is in the driver's seat when you save money.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, do it sign Cherokee 3894, Wrangler 4394, add tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
With next day delivery available straight to your job site, it's easy to keep jobs running smoothly with the Home Depot. Plus, with pricing benefits for pros and top quality brands, you only have to make one stop for the whole job. The Home Depot. How pros get more done.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mirajoyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
You know what they say about judging a book by its cover? Everyone with an addiction has a story to tell. Don't know? Don't judge. Addiction is a treatable medical condition. What helps people seek treatment is support. What does not help is shame and stigma. We can all make a difference. Learn how at oasis.ny.gov. The New York State Office of Addiction Services and Supports. Every step of the way.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel's got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. So here's how it works. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics. No invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays, with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Evan, download the app, check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer, and get in on the action. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over, physically present in New York, opt-in required, bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Got internet? Cool. A $200 Verizon gift card for switching to our Fios 1 gig plan? Hot. And here's a pro tip. Use it to pay your bill. It's like getting 2 months free. Plus, get a 5-year price guarantee. Hurry into your Verizon store today. Offer ends 10/8/25. Must install and maintain eligible Fios service in good standing for 65 days and register gift card per offer terms. One offer per account. Price guarantee for new customers on select plans and excludes taxes and other charges. See store for additional terms and conditions.
If you're in the market for Michelin tires, get to Town Fair Tire and get them at the guaranteed lowest price. With Michelin's innovative technologies designed for durability and performance, you can trust you're getting the highest quality tires over all the toughest of road conditions. Plus, at Town Fair, you get free services for life. So if you're looking for the best deal on Michelin tires, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Football is back, and it looks like we're going to get thrills from both teams this year, but thrills are nothing new at Bay Ridge Mazda. Tired of that clunker you've been driving? Just bring it in to Bay Ridge Mazda for up to $2,000 over book value all month long. The time is now to make a trade. Head over to the place where everybody wins, Bay Ridge Mazda, located on 4th Avenue and 90th Street, or buy your car direct at BayRidgeMazda.com and have it delivered to your door. That's Bay Ridge Mazda, 4th Avenue and 90th Street in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan. On the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on The Fan, 888-808-1019. We'll get to the Giants. We'll actually have Justin Tuck coming on the show a little bit later on. We'll do that next hour. We got Nick Costos to get you set for anything with the props and the gambling for Week 3. And then, of course, our Perfect Parlay Picks segment. That'll come up in the 1 o'clock hour, so a jam-packed Football Friday here ahead of Week 3 with the Jets and Giants. But we focus here on the Jets to start the show, BT, and I know you wanted to get into Aaron Glenn. You know, the way that he handles the media, I'm fine with it, but it's going to rub people the wrong way if you continue to lose when he keeps referencing, I got to watch the tape, and being terse and not giving the answers to the media.
Yeah, it's got a very short shelf life there. I really hope that he gets away from that. Not that he's got to become, overly chatty and just expand on everything and just divulge game plans. I'm not saying that, but it's going to be a rough look for Aaron moving forward if the results don't come. Now, if the results do come, then you get away with it, like Bill Belichick here. But you see, it's even deeper than just him, I think, maybe presenting a little bit of a roadblock to the media, and then maybe them trying to get some answers downstream that leads to conflict and friction. I just don't want to see him complicate his job. And when he says, got to look at the tape, well, let's say if the Jets don't play well against the Buccaneers this weekend, right? Okay. Well, now, hey, Coach, you said you had to look at the tape last week. What did you see from the tape last week that wasn't fixed this week? It just opens up a different set of questions. So it's not so much, Sal. I think when people hear this, they're like, well, you're trying to be like Bill Belichick. That's not going to work. Yeah, to an extent, it's a little bit of a turnoff, but that's not really the big thing for me. The big thing for me is that I think it gives people unnecessary ammunition down the road to make Aaron Glenn's life and the locker room tougher.
Yeah, and we've seen that be a problem before. Now, just in case and nobody's familiar with it, or some people are like, what the hell are these guys talking about? Aaron Glenn, after the game on, last Sunday, week 2, he was asked about Justin Fields' performance. He said, quote, I have to watch the tape. Asked about how Tyrod Taylor played, quote, I have to watch the tape. Asked about the run defense, and again, he said, I have to watch the tape. Now, the example that comes to mind to me is Eric Mangini, because I believe that's the one that the Jets let get away that could have been a tremendous head coach here for a long time. Now, Mangini made his own bed because he acted like Bill Belichick, and without the wins to back it up, nobody wanted to hear it. And he was an inexperienced guy, didn't have the resume, didn't have the ultimate success here. We knew he had the one successful season, whatever. But then when things started to go the wrong way, his Belichickian act wore thin, and that's it. And you can't get away with that if you don't have the resume or the wins. You need one or the other. Glenn doesn't have the resume because this is his first time getting an opportunity to be a head coach, and he's 0-2 so far. So it's hard to have that tough guy, Parcells, Belichick attitude without the resume, and you can just make it. You could still be the guy in charge and a tough guy, but you can make it easier on yourself by not being so adamant and just, I got to watch the tape. Be like, hey, you know what? I'm not 100% sure. I thought our run defense could be better, certainly, but let me watch the tape before I give you details.
Yeah, just throw him a bone. There's a little in between there. Listen, I think that there's two things that you need to at least put yourself in a position to be successful as a coach in this city. Number one, you've got to be authentic. You've got to be yourself, okay? And number two, you've got to be as transparent as possible, again, without divulging state secrets, which would be a detriment to what you try to do as a team. Now, if I'm up there and I'm Aaron Glenn and there's like a, say it's a fade pattern, the Jets are down by 6 and they throw a fade to Garrett Wilson and there's a lot of contact and they don't throw the flag, and I'm at the press conference, hey, Aaron, was that a penalty? Was that a penalty? Was that a penalty? And that's where I could say, guys, I got to look at the tape again. I got to really look at the tape before I start throwing people under the bus. I thought we had the right play, but I got to look at the tape. When Justin Fields is 3 for 11 and Mitch Trubisky comes off the bench and throws a 32-yard dime and has more yards than your starting quarterback did in the game, I don't know how much tape you got to watch to at least throw a bone and say, guys, we didn't play well. Right. We didn't play well. That's not the standard. We got a long way to go. So, that's why I go back to the authenticity, which I believe Aaron Glenn absolutely is and wants to be and is. I believe he's a leader of men. And the transparency, that's got to come a little bit more. And if they meet in the middle, I think he's going to be successful.
Think about it. He's watching the game. I know that he's not watching every single play and evaluating every player on every play before watching the tape in game. But come on, you're watching the game. You know what's going on. You see what's happening. You know your team's getting steamrolled. You know you can't get a stop. You know guys are making mistakes. You could give enough, because it's not just Aaron Glenn. A lot of coaches, I got to watch the tape. No bleep. We get it. Okay, great. Would we all benefit from sitting down with a film session, watching the game, breaking it down? Of course. But we also watch the game, and you could give an opinion and give something on watching the game in real time, and then you can even back it up, piggyback it, the word of the week, with saying, you know what, but I do want to watch the tape just to see exactly what was going on there. But here's what I saw from the field.
Well, that's why I say when you're so, woefully bad at your job, as Justin Fields was in week 2, there's really not a whole lot to interpret. And we saw the opening drive on the 3rd down and 7 or 8, whatever it was, to Garrett Wilson. He missed him by 5 yards. I mean, that you could be in the upper tank of the stadium with 7 beers in you.
Yeah,
you don't need to look at the film to know that he was awful.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game every Sunday all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. This week's game of the week, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots. Back to the phones. Josh is calling from Long Island. What's up, Josh?
Hey, Sal, BT, what's going on, fellas?
How are you?
Hey, Josh.
Good. Yeah, man. I don't know if you guys, I called a couple months back. I'm the guy who spoke to his therapist about Tom Thibodeau's firing. So, big sports fan. I live and breathe it. Been a Jets fan for over 30 years. And I have to come on the air and say I'm hanging him up. I'm trading in my green and white. Yeah.
For what? Hopefully not blue and white.
No, man. I'm gonna go Bills, man. I've been a Bills fan. I've supported them.
Josh,
and
what are you doing?
Listen,
Josh.
I know. But listen, every year I listen to you guys forever.
Okay.
Every year we do this.
Yeah, no.
Oh, if just Fields, if Woody Johnson, if Aaron Rodgers, they suck. They suck every year. We can spin ourselves in circles.
We do.
And I know, and it's like, look, you wouldn't have a job if we didn't sit around and talk about, like, what the hell are the Jets doing?
Well, we'd have a job. I don't know if it would be this job, but yeah, we
Fair. Well, I'm holding my newborn son. I'm on paternity leave, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, do I want this guy to spend his 30 years, first 30 years,
get him
on
a
this
Josh
planet,
Allen binky.
rooting? That's it. And
But
look,
what
I've
about
been a
you?
lifelong Knicks fan.
Hold on.
What about
Josh? It's one thing for the little guy, God bless him, that you're holding here, but you, think about you. The day that the Jets crack through, and with your luck, it's going to coincide when the Bills suck. So, come on, man. There's no way. I don't believe you. There's no way you are not tapping out. You're not. No, you're not.
Let me tell you something. I said this I'm going to say what I told you to my family, and I literally came out. I was like, this is a big decision. I'm doing it. And here's why. If the Jets were to even win a championship in a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know that it would undo the 30-plus years of absolute misery.
I get it, dude.
I just don't think it would undo it. Where's the Knicks? Yeah, the Knicks win. I'm along for the ride till I die.
What's the difference?
Yeah, hold on now. The Knicks were dead for 20-plus years, Josh, after having some success, and thank you for the call. I just can't get behind that as a fan. I understand the pain and the punishment and the frustration. We talk about this a lot. What we do is supposed to be an escape from the harsh reality of the world's problems. Everybody's got issues, just to what extent, what you're dealing with. You deal with stuff, I deal with stuff, everybody listening deals with stuff. Sports is supposed to be the escape.
Yeah.
And when you get aggravated on a nonstop basis watching the Mets, let's say, or the Jets or the Knicks for 20 years, you don't really need that extra pain involved. However, it is impossible to really take that fandom out. You could say you're going to transition to be a Bills fan.
Yeah, I don't believe him. There's no way.
You can't. The time that you invest in rooting for a team is what makes you a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You are, whether you like it or not, Josh, a Jets fan. That's not going to change. It may get less, the GAF meter. It gets less as you get older, you have a baby, God bless your baby, real issues start to happen, you start losing people, whatever. The GAF meter comes down a little bit, give a bleep, you can spell it out for you. So that comes down a little bit, but you're always going to be a fan of your team.
I think it's easier to just tap out and say, I hate sports, rather than going on to another team.
Right.
That to me, that's impossible. There's no way you could root for another team. How do you do that?
You don't.
How does anybody have the...
You could tap out, and then that's it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If the Jets have driven you to such a place of despair, which, by the way, Well, they have.
I mean, they've tested the limit.
I mean, I'm not saying they haven't. I mean, they push it like anybody. Yeah, it's amazing what they do to us. My God, it's week 3. Our brains are already twisted in knots. I hate them. I love them. I hate them. I'm everything with them. But it's easier to say I'm done with sports or I'm done with football, specific to the last call, then I'm going to become a Bills fan or a Dolphins fan or a Cowboys fan. I don't believe you.
Or just watch like your fantasy team or the Red Zone channel so you can get your fix of sports if you love football. But you're not going to, you can't, it's impossible to be it. I can sit here today and say, I am choosing not to be a fan of whatever team and I'm going to pick a new team. It just doesn't work like that.
There's no way.
It takes
Unless you weren't, well, maybe we're tapping into, unless you wasn't a good fan to begin with. I think if you're a little bit of a fringe, flimsy fan, well, then maybe it's easier to say I'm done.
No, I mean, maybe
if you're a real fan.
Some people are more killable than others.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And in his particular case, he's had enough.
He's down.
I could get it.
Week 2, he's down?
You can only get kicked in the nuts so many times. See,
but it's week 2.
Right, if you've survived the last 30 years, whatever it may be, now's not the time to be quitting.
I understand there's a time and a place for that phone call. I don't know that today's the time nor the place.
Right, not with Aaron Glenn
Maybe
going
next
into
week.
week 3. Johnny's calling from Mattawa. What's up, Johnny? Right, give it another week.
Yeah.
What's up, Johnny?
Johnny.
Hey guys, yo, who was that guy? That's
Yo.
illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot do that. 30 years, whatever. You cannot do that. Bills, you cannot do that. Sorry to say, we never do that. That's illegal.
And
no way.
By the way, Johnny, what I would say, and thank you for the call, and we agree with you, we do agree with you there. The grass is always greener. And while the Bills' grass may be a lot greener than the Jets, certainly in recent years, the Bills haven't even gotten to a Super Bowl yet with Josh Allen. The Bills fan base lost 4 straight Super Bowls.
But they do have a new stadium coming. They do have a Hall of Fame quarterback. They are pretty appealing.
I understand that. I'm not saying it's not more appealing than the Jets. Nobody would argue that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that we, as a group, pick a sport, pick a team. The majority of us are rooting for teams that ultimately fall short of the goal. Even the Yankees, the winningest franchise in sports, like they haven't won a World Series since 2009, so there's a lot of good. But how many times do we sit here ourselves and be like, this is not good enough, and they need to fire this guy and that guy?
Complain all the time.
Okay, and that's the most successful team. And they complain all the time. So where are you going that's guaranteed? Oh, I'm going to go root for this team. I'm going to root for that team. Yeah, the Warriors had their window in the NBA. The Chiefs had their window. That might be over. And those windows are great. The Patriots had their window. How about now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a matter of timing for whatever fan base you choose, timing throughout the course of your life for that one little window.
Imagine being as devout a Red Sox fan as you could possibly muster up. You know, woven in the DNA, New England, multiple generations, grandfather on the porch with lemonade, hearing Ted Williams on the radio, fuzzy. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I can't take it anymore. I'm at my wit's end. I'm done. I
been
quit.
100 years.
Yeah. And then you become a Yankees fan. And you're a Yankees fan, and you watch, grand slams and Javi Vasquez and Kevin Brown get lit up, and Damon do his thing as a Red Sox, and you watch the Yankees collapse in 2004, and now you're no longer a Red Sox fan. Now you're a Yankee fan. Like, so the juxtaposition of switching teams, it is unrealistic. Now you want to tap out and stop being a football fan, okay, which I don't believe you'll do either. But to go to a different team, that last caller, you could take this to the bank. You become a Bills fan. I don't know when, but the Jets and the Bills will eventually meet in the AFC Championship game. The Jets will win, and you'll still lose.
Joe is in Plainview. Joe?
How you doing, guys? I know you're not trying to harp on this guy again, but now I'm calling as a lifelong Bills fan here. And what this guy doesn't realize is from my age 18 to 35 years old, we were not in the playoffs. We had a 17-year drought. And, part of sports is going through those terrible times to then when here we are now, and yes, we haven't been to a Super Bowl with Josh and yada, yada, and we've had some heartbreak, but switching teams in your own division is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, just drop the sport altogether. I'll let you guys discuss.
It's impossible, and thank you for the call, Joe. All those things that Joe lived through as a Bills fan from 18, however he said, 18 years, whatever, or however old he was when he became a Bills fan on, is what makes him a fan. That's what defines fan. I can't just wake up and say, poof, today I'm a Bills fan, and I'm going to ride the wave of Josh Allen and the undefeated Buffalo Bills. And when they win the Super Bowl, or if they get to and win the Super Bowl, yay, my team did it. Like, there's no way it would mean what it means to to.
I don't think it can mean anything.
Of course not.
Not only would it not mean or match the degree that it would if you stayed with the original team. I don't know how it resonates at all.
It doesn't, and that's why I tell you, like, we joked about this, and I know you guys are giving me crap for it, about wearing the Islanders jersey. Oh, how could a Rangers fan wear the Islanders jersey? And I understand that mentality. What I'm saying is just because I wear a piece of laundry, it doesn't erase the sweat and tears and time and energy and passion I put into rooting for the Rangers. Like, you can wear whatever you want. I could say in my mind, you know what, I'm an Islanders fan now. Their owner's great. I like the way that they treat me. The Rangers on a downswing. I can't get behind it, whatever it may be. Now, I'm not, like, you can't choose fandom. You choose that as a very young age.
It chooses you in a lot of ways.
Well, however you became a fan of your team at a young age, that will never change.
I'll give you a real quick good example, though. There's a lot of guys who didn't do this, but there's some guys I grew up with, and I'm talking about the biggest St. John's fans in the world.
Right.
Everybody wanted to be Mullen. Everybody played CYO. Everybody had the St. John starter jacket. Everybody had the red and white Nike Dunks. Everybody saying Johnny's geared up. Back from Mullen. Okay. And then over the years, they were invisible, and the passion waned. Some of those guys I grew up with, like, I just can't watch St. John's anymore. And I understood. I get it. There's really nothing to watch. Well, if St. John's is in the Final Four this year, or the Sweet 16, or the Elite Eight, or they win another Big East championship, whatever it might be, is it going to resonate the way it's going to for those who never tapped out?
No.
The answer is no.
No.
So it's not a fun fight. It's not a fair fight. And there's no guarantee that you actually win the fight. But if you do, there's nothing better.
Look, there's a big difference between losing a little bit on the GAF meter as a fan as you get older and progress, whether it's because you're beaten down, whether it's because you get other priorities, whatever it may be. That's because I know I've gone through that. So that's understandable. But it's not as rewarding then when your team eventually does come out of it and has some success. You lose a part of your the joy that you would have had. Also, the older you get, the worse it is anyway. Like, if it happened when you're 15 or 20, your team wins, you enjoy that a lot more than you do if it happens when you're 50 or 60, I would assume.
When you're 60, you're probably just sitting on your couch by yourself. Like, you're not even going nuts. When you're 20, you're going out of your mind.
That's exactly right. BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls when we get back. About the Jets, not about fandom, please. 888-808-1019, although it is fun to discuss that. For over 92 years, Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer in New York. And right now, with low rates, it's the perfect time to lock in your price for winter before cold weather pushes prices up. Don't wait. Call today and lock in your savings and enjoy a worry-free season. Approved Oil has been delivering a brighter, warmer tomorrow for almost a century, backed by superior services and unmatched reliability. When it comes to your home heat, it has to be Approved Oil. Visit freeztherate.com or call 718-238-1050.
All right, Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. Whether it's a sports-related injury or something a little more complex, Total Ortho has you covered with locations throughout Long Island, Queens, and now West Orange, New Jersey. Don't struggle with pain or injuries and get fast expert care from the leading orthopedic doctors, including the #1 spine doctor on Long Island. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com and schedule an appointment today. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experts at getting you back to being you.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Part of me, as frustrated as I am, as annoyed as I am, I can't get over the fact that, they look like a competent offense. More than competent.
Listen to C-Mac on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. The two marquee matchups that jump out at me in Sunday's NFL lineup are the Rams and Eagles and the Broncos and Chargers. My road game upset specials are Houston over Jacksonville and Vegas over Washington. Enjoy the games, everyone. I'm Boomer Esiason.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
When you hear that a small Blizzard treat is just 85 cents in the DQ app, you might just feel like you're dreaming. 85-cent Blizzard treats. Trust us when we say you're not. But But get to DQ quickly, because this dream is only a reality for so long. Hurry and get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with a $1 purchase when you sign up for DQ Rewards. For a limited time at participating locations. Terms apply.
Call, text, or chat 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Game day starts with the right truck, and Arnold Chevrolet has yours. Over 50 Silverado models in stock, from the family-friendly 1500 to the heavy-duty 3500 built to tow, haul, and handle any job. And right now, save up to $7,500 off MSRP. That's right, $7,500 off on select Silverado models. Our loyal sales and management team has been helping Long Island drivers for decades, and this season, we're serving up tailgate deals on our full lineup of trucks and SUVs. Visit Arnold Chevrolet in West Babylon or online at arnoldsautos.com, because nobody discounts like Arnold. Include Chevrolet, select market purchase, loyalty to qualify.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together, we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission: to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Connecticut's best values at Town Fair Tire. They honor all manufacturer and valid competitor rebates, offer the most free services for life, plus give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
With great deals coming this Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th, greatness is a deal away. So if you love baking, you can get a deal on a new mixer, transforming you into the Lord of the Loaves.
Hear ye! Make way for the baron of brioche, the sultan of sourdough, the Lord of the Loaves, Prime Member Dave!
Yeah, hi?
Get up to 40% off with Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
All right, BT and Sal back on the Fan Wendy's Yankees turning point of the game contest here. Yankees get it done last night. Wendy's, the official burger of the Yankees. So, first one to identify correctly last night's turning point, give us a buzz at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326. And you receive 2 pairs of tickets to a 2025 Yanks regular season game. Season, obviously, regular season coming to an end here. It's all from your flagship station for Yankees baseball, the Fan. So, right now, the Yankees 3 back of the Jays. Max Fried may have been as good as he's ever. Like last night, his changeup was insane. It's a good win, Yanks. I like that they win without any home runs, 7-0. Fried's had a really big first year of the Yankees, 18-5 now. And here we go. I mean, I still don't think that they catch the Jays, but 3 more at Camden. And then 6 in the Bronx with the White Sox and the Orioles to wrap up the regular season.
You know, that's what I was going to ask you, because I have been thinking the Yankees are going to win the division all along, and then earlier this week it's like, all right, well, whatever. They can't. They blew the game to the Twins. They were 5 back. They don't have the tiebreaker. Well, now it's 3 back. All right, they still don't have the tiebreaker. However, like, you can make an argument. The way the Yanks are rolling right now, maybe playing their best baseball of the season, period. But the Yanks are rolling right now, and like... Are they going to lose any more than a game? I think there's a good chance they go 8-1 here. Dude, they got the Orioles stink. The Orioles and White Sox?
Let me see. So
I think there's a realistic chance they could go 8-1 here. Let's say 7-2 at worst.
Mm-hmm.
And Toronto's still got Boston on their schedule.
7-2.
I'll pull up Toronto's schedule here real quick.
Oh, that's what I was doing. So you got them? Okay.
I'll get that. I'll get Toronto's schedule here.
All
so
right.
let's say the Yankees go 7-2. So they're 3 back, so they would need to gain 4 games because they don't have the tiebreaker. Toronto's got 3 in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
3 versus Boston, 3 versus Tampa. Dude, those are like...
Those are tricky games,
Tampa's
man.
dangerous. Boston is very dangerous.
Yep.
And even Kansas City, like, they
feisty.
They can't win 2 out of 3. I mean, I know the Blue Jays have been good, but there's a... So what would if the Yankees go 7-2, the Jays would have to go what? Do the math, PT. I don't want to do it.
You're going to dump my head's barely... I'm still cloudy.
Yeah, I'm not feeling well today either.
7-2. Oh, God. I don't think I could do this if there was a gun pointed to my head. I have no idea.
Somebody help us out here. So, because they do have to pick up 4 games in the final 9.
Correct.
So that would mean that to pick up 4 games out of... So the Jays would have to go...
3?
Yeah, 3 and 6 would get the Yankees 4 right. So let's say they win 1 at Kansas City. Yeah, dude, I mean,
listen, mathematically, it's very possible.
Only because the Yanks... And by the way, the Yanks could go 8-1. We're giving 7-2.
They could. I mean, I'm surprised we're here. I didn't see it. When you really look back, and even going back to the way the Red Sox series ended on Sunday night, and then that first loss to the Twins, which was 7-0, which was very disappointing. Rodon pitched pretty well, but they just kicked it around, and the bullpen came in with the gas can. No, but they've responded nicely, and this is the one thing that we did point to, where the Yankees have a built-in soft cushion. Now, the Orioles were playing much better baseball. That's one thing that I always parsed it with, like, wow, the Orioles aren't as bad as they were, and the White Sox aren't as bad as they were. But, I mean, geez, if you want to win a division, you can't ask for a better setup here.
Correct.
You
And by the way,
can't.
at this point, like, nobody's expecting them to win the division. I'm just saying that because of their schedule, I don't know if I would definitively say it's over at this point, because I can see the Yankees going 8-1 and then putting the pressure on Toronto. Yankees just keep winning here, put the pressure on Toronto to where they have to go out there and win, 4 or 5 games.
Okay, so this is interesting. I just popped up that model that I used throughout. I'm gonna give you the Mets here as well, real quick too. So and we'll get back to the football call. So the Yankees, if I said, Sal, what do you think their divisional percentage chance is right now?
Wow. To win the division?
Yeah.
55?
9%.
Oh, wow. I know I was going high.
9 point. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought it was 9. I don't know if I would have gone quite as high as 50, but 9 is ridiculous. All right, so they're projected to win 91.7 games. I would think they go slightly over that. And just to dot the i's here with the Mets are 72.1% to be a playoff to be a postseason team.
72, huh?
72.1.
That's come way down, I feel like.
Yeah, 72.1% with an 83.5 win total projection.
What side are you using there?
CBS. Well, it's through CBS. It's a vehicle through CBS Sports. Sportsline.
On ESPN, just in the standings, they have this playoff percentage.
They do.
That's 86.6% to make the playoffs.
Okay, that's
So
a different one there.
views
There you go.
Yeah.
Take that one. It's better.
I don't see the division one for the Yanks on here, but obviously
9%.
All right, BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll turn our attention to the Giants when we come back. We'll continue with the calls on the Jets as well ahead of their Week 3 matchup in Tampa. But let's talk some Gents football as the Giants will be hosting the Chiefs, their home opener. Sunday Night Football. We'll have Justin Tuck next hour as well. We'll come back. We'll get you calls in talking some Giants and Jets football. 888-808-1019.
It's Friday Night Baseball with the Yankees and Orioles at 7:05 p.m. on the Fan AM 660. Driven by Jeep.
A one pitch swing on a high fly ball. Deep center field, and that ball on cue is out of the ballpark.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play. The home of Yankees baseball is the Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval, not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends September 30th, 2025.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and stories from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey! Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons.
Attention NFL fans, the Lowe's Earn Your Sunday Tour is rolling into the Lowe's of Butler, New Jersey for one day only, this Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. Step aboard this unique Lowe's NFL experience and get in on the action with interactive games and prizes. Play Madden NFL 26 and then step into a photo booth to become a cover athlete and lots more. Plus, enter for a chance to win tickets to Super Bowl 60 this Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. at Lowe's of Butler, New Jersey. Sunday hits different when you've earned it with Lowe's, an official partner of the NFL.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel has got a boost that you're not going to want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. So here's how it works. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Boomer to download the app. Check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get in on all the action. We all love the app around here. It is safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues now withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, go 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Mnexspike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn learn more, visit mnextbike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire. Michelin's innovative technologies are designed for durability and performance over any of the toughest road conditions, so you can trust you're getting the highest quality tires. And Town Fair's been a name you can trust since 1967. Now with over 120 locations and still growing, because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Together, let's drive at Paramus Chevrolet for just $247 a month and $1964 do a delivery. Lease a brand new Equinox 4D Wagon LT with 2-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying? Enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by Moderna. We hear from Yankees manager Aaron Boone, a series opening win over the Orioles last night. Some early offense from Ahmed Rosario, who drove in 2 with a double. Late offense from Giancarlo Stanton. Here was Boone on that first inning.
You got to be able to win a lot of different ways in this league, but jumping out on top early obviously is big and allows you to play offense on offense. Allows you to push the envelope and do some things. So, great job by Goldie getting us going right from the jump, and Rosie being in the middle, big 2-run double there to get us on the board.
And of course, Max Fried was on fire. 7 innings, 3 hit ball, 13 strikeouts, league leading 18th win. The Yankees moving to 86-67. Will Warren, Trevor Rogers go tonight. Meantime, the Mets take on the Nationals off their 6-1 series win over the Padres. Took 2 out of 3. Home runs for Pete Alonso and Brandon Nimmo, and the youngster Jonah Tong threw 5 innings with 8 strikeouts for the win. Brandon Sproat with the start this evening. The Mets 2 up on the Diamondbacks and the Reds for the 3rd wild card spot in the National League. Thursday night football, the Bills top the Dolphins 31-21. Sunday, the Jets face the Bucks in Tampa. Sunday night, Giants and Chiefs at MetLife Stadium. College football tonight, Rutgers home for Iowa on 101.9 FM The Fan at 8 p.m. This report brought to you by Paramus Chevrolet. It's 76 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Big Detail Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. We'll get to the Mets and that impressive Jonah Tong outing yesterday. We'll do that a little bit later on, BT. Let's get some Giants talk in here. We'll get back to the Jets calls, 888-808-1019. Huge game for the Giants as well. Obviously, season on the line. A couple of things. First of all, Andrew Thomas sounds like he's at least getting closer to being back. Yeah. I mean, I know we've talked about how important a player he is, and that's great to see him out there. I just don't see it. Like, Baldy said it Tuesday. Kyle Brandt said it with us, I think, Wednesday when you were out. Others are saying it like they're treating this game as if this is a game that's winnable for the Giants, which doesn't compute to me. I hope that the Giants are as competitive as they were in week 2. The Chiefs are not the Cowboys, and the Giants have been the Giants for a long time. I'm not able. Now, doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm not able to process the idea that this all of a sudden, the Giants taking on the Chiefs, who are angry at 0-2, fighting for their actual season, are going to lose to the freaking Giants?
Well, I mean, I think the Giants have a chance here because I don't think the Chiefs are what they were. And listen, that's a hard thing to separate yourself from when you're used to watching, one thing for all these years, and then, you get some evidence to the contrary at what's real and what's not. And it's hard to delineate between the two because I think when you look at, Mahomes is already an all-time great. So he already gets that benefit of the doubt. But when you look around Mahomes, they're not the same team. No, they don't throw the ball down the field at all. So the way that they're moving the football, oddly, is Mahomes running the ball this year. Now, they played two good teams, all right? They lost to the Eagles, defending champions. They lost to the Chargers, and you and I both love Harbaugh very well.
Yeah.
If the Chargers represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, I don't think either one of us would be stunned here. Patrick Mahomes has thrown 2 touchdown passes in 2 games, and I think even more alarming, not that other great quarterbacks haven't gotten off to bad starts over the years. They have. But it's a very pedestrian approach. He doesn't throw the ball down the field anymore.
Okay.
And that's reflected in the yards per attempt. He's under 7 yards, which is incredibly pedestrian. So it's very contrary to what we've seen from these Chiefs for a long time. Now, that's the bad with the Chiefs. Are the Giants dangerous enough or good enough to exploit that? I think it's a 4-quarter game. I really do. And if it's not, it's just unacceptable because the Chiefs are not the Chiefs anymore.
I know, but they're so much better. They may be different. They were different last year. Same thing, better defensively and also ran the football more as opposed to the explosive nature that they were years ago with Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce isn't the same anymore. He's still dangerous. Patrick Mahomes, dude, he's talking about the best quarterback in the league, maybe the best quarterback ever. So they did lose to 2 very good teams. It's only 2 weeks into the football season. It's kind of like preseason. I'm going to think the Giants are going to beat the Chiefs. No way. The Giants' winnable games were against the Commanders and the Cowboys, and they couldn't do it. And because of one competitive game, think about what the reaction is to. It's to the Chiefs losing 2 straight games. And I know last year they weren't great, although their record was unbelievable and they get into the Super Bowl. They still weren't the unbeatable Chiefs, it felt like, at least the majority of the year, but they just kept winning all these games. They're still the Chiefs. Even if it's a lesser version, it's still the Chiefs. What Andy Reid, a Hall of Fame head coach, one of the great coaches of all time, and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and a better defense, and a team that can run the football, especially against a defense that can't stop the run with the Giants. And so all those things combined with just because the Giants scored a few touchdowns last week, that's going to make me think that the Giants can beat the Chiefs. Again, anything could happen. I would be floored beyond belief, even with Thomas back at left tackle, if the Giants actually beat the Kansas City Chiefs and they got the win on Sunday night and the Chiefs went home, walked out of MetLife at 0-3.
You think they compete?
I think the Chiefs. Now, we could get into the picks later as far as the line. I don't think the Giants are going to have a chance to win that game late in the fourth.
And that's a big problem for where the staff's going, the direction of this team, and all the other stuff that we're latching on to. Now, there's 2 reasons why Giant fans think that they can win. Number 1, they're desperate. And if you don't win, you're 0-3, and here we go, start flushing the season down the chute again. And when does Jackson Dart play?
Yeah.
That's the big storyline. Number 2, I think the other reason, and I'm more in this category, I latch on to just the football things in this game. And I think that, what kind of game will we have? Is it going to be a shootout? I don't think so.
Me neither.
Because I don't think that Kansas City's putting up 35 or 40 points. I don't think that they've got that kind of offense, right? Is it going to be a low-scoring, 2017-ish? I'm probably more inclined to say slightly higher than that. Now, if it is that, 24-20-ish, does that favor the team that's not as well coached, doesn't have the Hall of Fame quarterback, and doesn't know how to win? No. So that's why I don't think necessarily the Giants should or will win. But if the Giants on national TV hunting their first win against a team that's not nearly as dynamic and as good as they've been. If they can't, if we're sitting up here watching the fourth quarter and the Giants aren't within 1 score, then I don't know what the hell we latch onto with these Giants anymore. I just don't know at that point.
Well, it'd be about
You're supposed to be in the game.
It'd be about Jackson Dart. And I heard the morning show talking about this, and I think it was Al who said that he wants the Giants to win because we need them to remain relevant. I would argue that a Giants loss does more for their relevancy because it's going to mean closer to Jackson Dart. Even if the Giants win this game, they're not going to be a playoff team. I hate to say that they were never going to be a playoff team. The idea to me was at least have a stable foundation, maybe win some games, have some success before eventually turning it over to Jackson Dart. And now that they've lost the first 2 games, even with the way that they scored points last week, I all of a sudden can't believe that they're going to become a playoff team with their schedule. I certainly don't think they're going to win this game. So I think their relevancy is about Jackson Dart. Then they become must-watch. We know what Russell Wilson is. We don't know what Jackson Dart is. That, to me, is the intriguing thing.
Well, this is the problem with the way the Giants are set up here. I mean, if the easiest thing would have been, okay, they kind of look like the way they did against the Commanders, against the Cowboys, and now, all right, what are we pulling the plug and going to the young kid? But, Russell Wilson wasn't good. I mean, I know he made the mistakes at the end, but Russell Wilson was amazing.
All right, but do we think that that's going to be sustainable?
No, no, to that level, of course not. He wasn't even that on a week-to-week basis with Seattle.
Yeah, right.
I mean, geez, so no, I certainly don't think that. Do I think that they can continuously make some big plays down the field and score some points with Neighbors and Wilson and some of the other components? I do.
Right.
But even if I do, is that good? Like, is that good for the future of the Giants? That's the problem.
Is it good enough in this case to beat the Chiefs?
I think that they can mess around and maybe win this game.
Is it more about the Giants or more about the Chiefs?
It's more about the Chiefs for me.
Right.
I don't think the Chiefs are not what they want.
See, and that's where I'm going to push back because I think that's where most people are at. But also, you got to combine the two.
That's true. But you got to be good enough to so the Chiefs are diminished, but the Giants have to be good enough to exploit the diminishment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why are we saying that they can? Like, if this,
they looked pretty good last week, Sal.
If this game were being played week 2, what would we say?
Oh, the Chiefs by 10.5.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever the number would be.
So I'm going to choose to evaluate 2 early season games against 2 and I'm not making excuses for the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we were anti-Chiefs last year.
We didn't believe them last year.
I kept saying 100 times over, like, they're not that good. They're not good. Yet they kept winning every freaking game.
Yeah.
But that being said, even if they're down a little bit, like the Chiefs coming down a couple of notches is still, and the Giants coming up a notch after last week or 2, they're still not close. I can't understand, and maybe I'd be proven wrong here. I can't understand how so many people think the Chiefs have fallen to the level where, and the Giants have risen to a level where they could be equals or have the Giants actually win this game.
I think the only reason is, at least my reasoning, my rationale is because I do not believe that the Chiefs are going to be able to run the Giants out of the stadium. Whereas in years past, they would have.
Right.
So, all right, balls in the air. All right, end of one, 21-3 Chiefs. Halftime, 30-10 Chiefs, 47-17 Chiefs. They're not equipped to score that way anymore. So when you can't score fast and they can't, you give a team with, last time I checked, the Giants defense is supposed to be good.
Right. You can argue that it's supposed to be good, but
what are we waiting for?
But that's
Let's
a big
go.
issue. And by the way, what the Giants do well, or what the Giants should do well, because somebody's still got to tell me what the Giants defense does well. What have they done well so far in 2 weeks? I've seen it on paper.
I hear you, man.
I know what they're supposed to do.
I know.
What do they do well? Dallas was scoring at will.
You're supposed to be destroying the quarterback, and they're not. It's
Bingo.
too intermittent.
Okay,
That's got to change.
So let's even say that what they're supposed to do well, they're doing that, right? And we could trust that they could do that.
Yeah.
The Chiefs' game is not set up for that. Mahomes is not going deep. He's not setting
No, I know. They're going to run.
Exactly.
But so then the question probably comes down to this. Do you think that the Giants can score enough points against Kansas City to keep it tight? And I do.
See, I think the Giants might have now the Chiefs are a far, far better defense than the Cowboys. And that is their strength. Like we see the Chiefs and say, well, they don't have explosive plays, so they're not the Chiefs anymore. No, they're different. They played better defense.
They've evolved. They're a different team.
Correct. And they could run the football, but it doesn't mean that that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Where I would give the Giants an advantage, oddly enough, is in explosive plays.
Isn't that? Think about what you said.
Yeah, it's insane that the Giants would have the ability to have more explosive plays with Wilson's deep ball to Malik Neighbors. However, is that going to be there against a far, far better defense in Kansas City than what we saw in week 2 against Dallas? And I don't think that that's going to be the case.
All right, so let me ask you this. So we threw out to start the show, if you guys missed a free Odyssey app, and we'll get the calls, 888-808-1019, Jet stuff. We talked about, like, what does it have to look like for the Jets to stabilize?
Yeah.
Win aside. What's Glenn got to do here against Tampa? What, for you, short of a win, would be satisfactory? Are we coming on Monday and you're like, okay, the Giants at least look like they're going in the right direction?
Great question. I would say the defense getting to Mahomes and at least a continuation, not to the extent of 37 points, wherever it is, but at least a continuation of dominance by the Russell Wilson, Neighbors, even Wan'Dale Robinson, throw him in there. I don't think the Giants are ever going to be good running the football, although I'd like to see that. I don't think that that's going to be their strength. So at least if they can continue some of what happened in week 2, I can believe that that's more sustainable and believable. Okay. But really, I think it's most important that their defense shows up and looks how we expected them to look.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm sorry, but, I mean, Brian Daboll's year 4. I mean, you're at home, you're desperate, you haven't had a win yet. I mean, this is not a team that's going to come in and score 5 touchdowns. So, to me, it would be, unless there's like a muffed punt, something wacky that, like, he really can't control. If this is not a 4-quarter game, whether it's 13-10 or 27-24, like, that's just unacceptable at this point of the Brian Daboll era.
If they lose by 10, like, is that the worst thing in the world? Like,
no, it's not. It's not. As long as the defense looks pretty good and the offense, to your point, shows some spark again.
But I could see that being the case. But again, I'm not, like, I don't think you could take away, if the Giants did lose by 10, like, I don't think we're at a point in the Shane Dable regime where you can be like, well, it's a moral victory. You lost by 10 to the Chiefs.
And isn't that the problem with where we're at? Think about that. That's the problem with where we're at.
No, they actually have to win games. The Jets, you could say, well, they went into Tampa with their backup quarterback. They ran the football well. They got to Baker Mayfield, slowed them down. They lost the game by a field goal or 7 points, whatever. All right, it was progress from week 2.
Mm-hmm.
The progress for the Giants from week 2 would actually be winning a football game.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, now let me flip one more script that year. So we're coming in on Monday. Let's say the Giants do win.
Yeah.
Let's say the Giants do win, and there's a continuation, not to the tune of 40-ish points, but the spark on offense is moving.
Yeah.
Like the Neighbors dynamic is real, and they're running the ball a little bit better, whatever. And now you're starting to see the defensive components start to wreck the game a little bit, where they put Mahomes on his ass.
Right.
The ball's on the turf. You get a couple sacks. You flip the field. Would that be enough for you to say, hey, these next couple of weeks for the Giants could be pretty interesting here?
Yes, certainly week 4. If they do that, if they continue what they did offensively, or at least just shows, again, not the exact point total, if they show signs that they can build off of what they did offensively last week and play a much better brand of defense and get a win, yeah, I do think it's season back on. Not that I would predict them to beat the Chargers, but it's like, hey, if they beat the Chargers here, now you're 2-2, you got New Orleans coming up, like, then I think anything's possible. I still, though, can't get beyond what we've seen for the last, 3+ years and in weeks 1 and week 2 and just say all of a sudden that's going to change. It could.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Well, think about, and you shouldn't be, and neither am I, but think about this. I think I might be there a little bit more than you, but it's funny because we can't disassociate ourselves what we know with the Giants, and we also can't do the same for the Chiefs. So there's this perception, all right, even though we all know Kansas City's not that high-octane offense that they were, we know that. Like, our eyes tell us that. The stats back that up. Last year we saw it, and we sure as hell know what we've seen with the Giants the last couple of years. So both teams, something's going to give. Either the Giants are a little bit better than we think, or the Chiefs are a little bit worse than we think.
Correct. And if the Chiefs go to 0-3, they're toast.
Oh, yeah, but listen.
In their division.
They're not winning anything this year, this team. I don't think the Chiefs are going. I really don't.
I still think I have to look at their schedule. I still think they're a playoff team. I mean, I still think they're good enough to be a playoff team. They had a tough, Chargers very good. Eagles. You could argue the Chargers Eagles could be in the Super Bowl this year. Not making an excuse for Kansas City, but all I would say is be careful before you bury them. I would be stunned if the Chiefs walked out of MetLife Stadium at 0-3. We'll get to your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019. WFAN NFL Football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. They're so comfortable. I love them. They look nice on you, too, even if you have a body that, like mine, a little soft right now. Well, Collars & Co., they just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle-resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
You got to hook me up, man. I gave you a little something the other day before I went. I gave you a little Johnny's gear. Give me some Collars and Co. Come on, man. Let's go. All right, guys. How about September? Obviously, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Men, please get screened. It's a simple blood test, and when detected early, the survival rate of nearly all cases increases to 99%. The Yankees, Montefiore, and Fans for the Cure will have a free screening at the stadium before and during the game on September 25th. Everybody who gets screened gets a voucher for 2 tickets to a game in 2026. For more information, visit fansforthecure.org.
Deep ball downfield, looking for Neighbors, who makes the catch for the touchdown in double coverage.
An incredible game and ended with heartbreak in Dallas for Big Blue.
Getting this one's tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. These guys battled. Dallas battled. Came down to the end.
Big Blue gets back to business for the 2025 home opener at MetLife Stadium. Taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. 8:20 Sunday night. It's Sunday Night Football. The Giants and the Chiefs. The home of Giants football is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel has got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. So here's how it works. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Gio, that's G-I-O, to download the app. Check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get in on the action. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Whenever water damage strikes your home or business, call on the cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
You know what they say about judging a book by its cover? Everyone with an addiction has a story to tell. Don't know? Don't judge. Addiction is a treatable medical condition. What helps people seek treatment is support. What does not help is shame and stigma. We can all make a difference. Learn how at oasis.ny.gov. The New York State Office of Addiction Services and Supports. Every step of the way.
Hey, I heard you switched banks. How's it going? Yep. Ditched the big corporate bank. Hanover Bank made it easy. I moved my business and personal accounts. Hanover Bank. Are they local? Totally. Decisions made right here. Their team lives in the same communities they serve, so the money stays local, benefiting businesses, homes, and futures in our town. Sounds like you're banking with neighbors. Exactly. Real people, real service. I'm sold. Hanover Bank, huh? I'm checking them out.
Visit HanoverBank.com. Hanover Bank. Forward together.
Things today can seem kind of unpredictable. Who knows what's around the corner, right? Well, at Total Wireless, we want to give you something to be sure about. With us, you save 50% off Metro and Cricket when you switch with one line. Guaranteed. And you get to keep the phone and number you love. Visit our Total Wireless store today. 50% savings for unlimited plans versus comparable Total Wireless unlimited phone plans based on standard plan rates. Some customers may only receive the guaranteed savings after contacting us and validating the current plan rate. Excludes promotional, discounted, and bring your phone rates. For Total 5G unlimited plan or higher, auto pay required. Applied on next renewal date. Additional terms apply.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Hey, Connecticut, if you want name brand tires at the guaranteed lowest price and the most free services, then get to Town Fair Tire. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. I had a tomahawk steak last night that was absolutely cooked to perfection. Now, you already know how it was done with the Chef IQ Sense, the wireless thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether you're cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill. It is built to withstand extreme heat, and the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill and even when to flip them. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense right now at chefiq.com and make sure to put the code word Boomer in for 20% off.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
And we're giving away tickets to see the Giants and the Chiefs this Sunday, September 21st at MetLife Stadium. Call right now and be caller number 10 at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326 for your chance to win. Listen again in the 2 p.m. hour for your chance to win tickets, Giants, Chiefs. Sunday Night Football. We'll have Justin Tuck coming on in about 15 minutes or so. Let's get some calls in here, BT, 888-808-1019. Important weeks for different reasons for each of these teams here. I know it's been so long with losing with the Jets and Giants, but hey, in a year where the expectations were raised at least to a certain extent, time to get off the schneid here and win a game for the Jets and the Giants. Let's go to Carmine on Staten Island. What's up, Carmine?
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it.
Got it.
So my question is, obviously, we played pretty well offense last week. We scored 37 points. You're supposed to win a game scoring 37 points. Our defense let us down at the end. I feel like we did not put any pressure on that last drive with whatever 25 seconds ago. We played back. I mean, you can disagree or agree with me. And my question is, going into this week's game playing the Chiefs, if we lose the game but it's a close game and our offense is good, I know everybody wants to see Dart in, but do we really blame Russell Wilson if he has another great performance on offense?
No.
And do we take him out?
Well, those are two very different things, Carmine. Blaming him and making a move to what we all hope is the future of the franchise, that's two very different thoughts. I mean, if he plays well and they bench him and eventually he's going to be on the bench and Dart's going to play, then I would exonerate him if he plays good football. I mean, that's for sure. But, absolving him of blame and making the move, that's two totally different things.
Yeah, one thing I'm going to continue to say until people actually get it, this is not about Russell Wilson. Jackson Dart is not about the idea of going to Jackson Dart because of Russell Wilson's performance, to me, is a flawed thought process. That should not be the case for the Giants, and I don't believe it is the case for the Giants. I don't even think it's the case for the majority of the fan base. It's not about, well, Russell Wilson stinks, let's see what Jackson Dart could do. Regardless, it's about the excitement of the future. We want to see what Jackson Dart could do. Maybe more imperative, BT, is what Jackson Dart can do while Brian Dable is here. What can Dable do with Dart? Shane Dable drafted Dart. Now let's see how it works. Eventually, that is going to be, to me, the primary goal of this season, evaluating, because I just don't believe that they could be a good playoff or a team that can make the playoffs, evaluating what Dable and Dart could do together. But that is separate totally from what Russell Wilson is.
It is. I mean, listen, my biggest concern with throwing Dart out there was throwing him out there and having him get knocked around and really impacting his growth, okay? But, I think I'm of the mindset now there's enough ways schematically to run him out of the pocket, to avoid pressure, to use his legs. And I don't mean just RPOs where he's getting crunched in the open field. I just mean where you could do some different things than that you could do with Russell. So, and because the offense looked really good a week ago, it's not like there were 9 sacks and every single play Russell's running for his life. Like, yeah, you'd love to get Andrew Thomas back, but the offensive line was okay last week. Certainly stabilized after the opening drive with the 4 penalties. So, it's going to be a tricky move because, I don't know how the locker room feels about Russell Wilson. I know how they feel about Jackson Dart. Now, that shouldn't be the main measurement, but if the offense is rolling and Neighbors is, going 9 for $125 every week, but a touchdown, even if they're losing and you sit Russell Wilson and you go to Dart and there's a drop, that's not going to play well either.
Think about it this way, though. Would you rather the Giants turn to Jackson Dart as the somewhat savior and be like, well, we're not getting the job done with this team, let's go to Jackson Dart? Or would you rather Russell Wilson continuing to play well, maybe the Giants actually win some games, and then eventually when the season is all but over, meaning like they can't make the playoffs or we know definitively, then you transition to Jackson Dart? My primary goal, it's not about having the Giants win enough games to save Dable's job. It's not about winning enough games to be a playoff threat or a playoff team. The primary goal from my perspective, and I believe it's what they should be thinking, is to develop Jackson Dart properly. That's the only true way out of this hell that they have been in. And I want to see that at some point throughout the course of this year. And I don't believe throwing him to the Wolves in week 4, 5, 6 is the right way to do things. So I would root for Russell Wilson, and independently of how Russ performs, make my decision on when I feel like it's the right time to turn it over to Jackson.
Well, what about the gradual insertion where you run a couple of sub-packages for Jackson Dart here? I think that there's a way to split this where it's not too early, it's not too late. Like the other thing you don't want to do, too, and I don't think it would ever get to this point where, the Giants are 1-11 and, it's just the spirits are broken. All right, kid, go get him. Like, that's not necessarily a productive environment for him to try to get some reps.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't think we're going to get there.
No, I don't think we will either.
But BT, if they go 0-3.
Yep. Well, everybody's going to be clamoring for it, but it doesn't mean that they should flinch.
And here's correct. But if they do go 0-3, their season is effectively over. Meaning, like, now any thought that they had of having a relevant regular season trying to chase a playoff spot at 0-3 with their schedule, they're toast. Like, to me, at least. People want to push back on that. I'd love to see how, but they would be toast. And then it clearly becomes about the waiting game for when is going to be the right time to transition and turn it over to Jackson.
Well, that's why, when we looked at this initially during the summer, I'm like, all right, well, the Saints game seems a little bit early. That's a soft landing spot. You want to always incorporate the bye and obviously, avoid a short work week if you can.
Right, you want it at home versus the road. Yeah.
I always looked at that Bears game as, what is that, week 10 or 11, I think?
Week 10.
In Chicago, right? That was the one that I had circled early on. I don't know. I think, though, of more grave concern or pressing concern to me is, if you guys are just tuning in, this is not the Chiefs of a couple of years ago. Like, there's no reason why this shouldn't be a 4-quarter game. And for me, there's no reason why the Giants shouldn't have a chance to steal a win if their defense does its job, if they're coached up properly. I mean, there's a lot of people on that staff with a lot to prove.
Dave is calling from Patterson, New Jersey. What's up, Dave?
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave. What's up, guys? How are you? The coaching, I think you just hit upon it. I mean, how big of an advantage does Reed have this week? And, is Dable going to be able to make the changes necessary? The Chiefs have basically morphed, like you guys said, from a striking offense to a running and defensive team. Does Dable have a chance in this matchup?
I mean, come on, what do you think? Like
I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah, well, me neither. Now, it doesn't. Andy Reid lost 2 games here, but he did lose to Harbaugh, obviously, in week 1, and then you see him lose to the team that won the Super Bowl last year.
Those 2 good teams.
Yeah, with Sirianni doing the job down there, and that was just a good, tough, hard-fought win for Philadelphia. I don't think the Chiefs played as poorly as you would think. And when I went back, I told you I went back and watched some of the key plays of that game. They're not done. But yeah, if you just go based off of head coach versus head coach, like, come on, it's not a knock on Brian Dable. Andy Reid's generally an advantage over almost anybody, but especially against Brian Dable.
Yeah, but there's also been things that are really hard to explain over the years. Robert Saleh didn't win 0 games as the head coach of the Jets. You know what I mean? So sometimes just a coach who is over his head or, and listen, and Dable compared to Andy Reid, it's varsity versus JV. No disrespect, it is what it is. The resumes say that, but the NFL's tricky, and I don't even waste time trying to get into this because I don't know. But I don't like Kansas City's body language. They don't seem like they're really locked in. Kelsey, remember the pick last week where it ricocheted off his hands and it went to the defender?
But he makes that catch, all of a sudden, maybe they win that game.
I know, but that's the football aspect. I'm talking about just the morale. I just feel like, and I'm not there every day. I would imagine, obviously, I would imagine in Kansas City they're splitting hairs and they're looking at the offense and they're talking about chemistry and they're looking at things that look a little different to them because they do it every single day. But even from, 1,500 miles away, they look different to me. So listen, just to reiterate, if the Giants cannot give their fans on national TV a representative, tough, buttoned up, four-quarter effort, then I don't know what the hell we're doing here.
Dude, the Chiefs got the Ravens next week. It is in Kansas City, but, if they lose this game, they're looking at 0-4 possibly here. I think the Ravens are better than the Chiefs. Even if they win this game 1-3, if the Chiefs lose this game, forget about the point spread. If the Chiefs lose this game, you could make an argument that dynasty is officially done already.
Doesn't it feel like it's done anyway?
All right, fair enough, but there's a big difference from the dynasty to the Chiefs going to go from being in the Super Bowl every year to all of a sudden now being out of the playoffs. If they go 0-3, I don't even know if they're going to be a playoff team.
Well, they might not. 0-3, 0-4, you probably won't be because there's a lot of good teams in the AFC. But I would also say this. I feel like football's that one sport where it's not just the incremental regression. Generally when you, in the NBA, you could be the champion and then you could still go far the next year, but maybe lose in a deep series. I feel like in football, when it's over, it's over. And I'm not proclaiming it absolutely over for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think they won the Super Bowl, so I'll certainly stand by that. But sometimes you just got to trust your eyes, and it's hard to do when you're talking about legends and Hall of Famers and dynasties. What we saw last year did not look the same. What we've seen this year does not look the same. And again, Giants, maybe I'm the dope here. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think the Giants play well, and I think the Giants have a chance to win.
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Sylvester Stallone is back in the original hit series, Tulsa King. This season, Dwight faces his most dangerous adversaries yet, forcing him to fight for everything he's built and to protect his empire. Stream the new season of Tulsa King on Sunday, September 21st, exclusively on Paramount Plus. Stop dealing with your neck pain, backache, sciatica, and go to Dr. J. Schott, Samwell Institute for Pain Management, a migraine and nerve pain specialist who gets you back to feeling yourself again with minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments. There are thousands of five-star reviews who trust Dr. J for pain-relieving solutions. Same day and next day appointments available with offices in Colonia, Livingston, and Englewood, New Jersey. Turn to Samwell Pain for effective pain-relieving solutions. Visit SamwellPain.com.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Any team that thinks they're better than us, they should know that when we step on the field, we're coming with relentlessness.
Listen to Keith McPherson on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Clayton Kershaw is retiring at the end of the season, closing the book on a career that is decorated and debated. A three-time Cy Young winner, MVP, and owner of over 3,000 strikeouts, Kershaw dominated regular seasons like few ever have. But October was often a different story. Despite 2 World Series titles, his postseason resume includes high-profile struggles. Still, Kershaw walks away as one of the greatest pitchers of his generation. I'm Maggie Gray.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at Depend.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Beautiful clear skies, high 83, low 65.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself.
You're up.
Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval, not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends September 30th, 2025.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-793-9858. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-793-9858 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-793-9858 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-793-9858.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, September 26th when the Yankees host the division rival Orioles for a great promotional giveaway. It's Yankees Jersey Hoodie Night, presented by Star Insurance. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees Jersey hoodie. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Don't miss Yankees Jersey Hoodie Night when the Yankees face the Baltimore Orioles on Friday, September 26th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Get back to your calls here in just a minute. We should have Justin Tuck joining us, so we'll get more into the Giants and their big game Sunday night and go around the league in a little bit, trying to set up the Zoom situation here. Just let me know when he's there. But obviously, BT, a big weekend for both these teams here. I don't know how much longer it would take. We heard jokingly before, maybe not jokingly, but the fan calling us, Jets fan calling us, saying he's tapping out after 20 years. We need some wins from both of these teams. All right, right now, we've got Justin Tuck hanging out with us, he is in New Jersey at Union City High School hanging out with Old Spice, who's doing a great thing for these students here. Justin, thank you for joining us, BT and Sal on the Fan. Why don't you explain what's going on there with Old Spice?
Yeah, man, I'm just getting an opportunity to partner with Old Spice and the NFL around the greatest smell in football and coming in and just talking to kids about routine and their confidence level. Obviously pairing that with, some of the routines that I've had both on the field and off. So yeah, it's been good to be, in partnership with Old Spice. They're obviously doing a lot of great things. We're donating some packages to the kids. Because, these young football players, they forget when they come off the football field, they smell like crap. So we just want them to smell good when they go back to school.
I was going to say, it actually smells like a locker in here today, BT. Maybe we get some of that Old Spice over here at the WFAN studios.
I'll send you some, guys. I promise.
There we go. Look at that.
I got a package coming our way.
We appreciate that, Justin. All right, let's get into the Giants Sunday night. Huge game here. Coming off of the Week 2 performance, which is encouraging, at least offensively. It seems like a lot of people are picking the Giants to have a chance to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Where are you at evaluating this game Sunday night?
Listen, in order for us to do so, it always starts, y'all know how I am. It always starts with, making sure we handle the things that we can handle. I think I would like to see our D-line dominate a game. I think we can, and we're going to have to with a guy like Patrick Mahomes back there. But we got to get ourselves in better situations, whether that be seconds and long, third and longs, where we can dial up our pass rush and get guys like Thibodeau and Brian Burns and Carter and Sexy Dexy to pin their ears back. That's where I think we will have success on defense. And then offense, we just got to continue to build. I was very encouraged with what I saw from Russ and Neighbors, and they're going to continue to get better. Obviously New York is a very impatient town. And I think, coming in on having a game on Sunday night against that quality of team, that team, the Giants should be up for it. And I'm going to be there, and I'm hoping we can pull out a win. It's going to be tough because, obviously Kansas City is a championship team, and they've not had the start to the season that they wanted as well. And they're going to be looking to get the right to ship as well. So I think it's going to be a really good game.
And we hope so. And they look very different. The way they play so far is not the way they've played for years. I mean, you got Mahomes running, not throwing as much here. And how much of that, Justin, is because they just vertically don't have a lot of weapons down the field, or defense is taking it away? Like, has the Chiefs' style changed because the Chiefs want it to, or because they just don't have the horses they once did?
Well, I'm not going to say they don't have the horses. What I will say is, I had the opportunity, I'll say opportunity, but I also had the displeasure of playing against Andy Reid for 11 years, and the mind that he has around, especially offensive football. You just know that they're going to figure it out at some point, regardless if he has the horses or not. He's made a career of taking the talent that he has on a football team and what I would call midstream adjusting. And you just hope, for a New York Giant, I hope that they're still struggling with finding their identity. Typically, the identity has been, in a lot of ways, regardless of what happens on the play call, you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes that can either, be part of course, or when things break down, be the superstar player that he is. That hasn't taken as much of a effect yet this year, but you just believe that they're going to figure out at some point. So I just hope that our defense and our offense is up for jumping on them early and taking advantage of a team that's been considered one of the best dynasties in recent history. That they're not clicking right now. But I do believe eventually they will start to click again and get back a little bit back towards the Kansas City Chiefs teams that we've seen for the past recent years.
Justin, there's nobody to talk Giants defense better than you. Two-time Super Bowl champ, defense leading the way. Defense on paper this year was supposed to be great, lights out. We have not seen that through the first 2 weeks of the season. Why do you think that that's the case?
I don't know. I get asked that question a lot, and again, I don't break down film and watch film like I used to on what could be going wrong. I don't know if it's a scheme thing. I don't know if it's they're trying to integrate Carter into situations that could be throwing him off. Obviously, you had a key injury in McFadden that could throw off a lot of things that we want to do on that side of the ball. Excuse me, guys. I mean, I am in a high school, and I think they're changing classes now. But you're right? Coming into this year, I would have said, from top to bottom, if you looked at our defense, we were going to be extremely better than what we were last year. I would even say the top 5 defense with the likes of Sexy Dexy and what Brian Burns and the rest of the crew can do off the edge. If we got in situations where our offense scored points and they had opportunities to really get after the passer, you would see them really dominate games. That hasn't happened yet. 2 weeks in, again, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to start to click. But I think the talent level on this defense definitely poses the question of why haven't we had the success that everyone thought that we would have coming in? But again, you got to look at the positives. The positive is, we got an opportunity on Sunday to really, really make a lot of noise, and the whole world is going to be watching you. So if I'm that defensive coordinator, I'm definitely telling my team that you can stop a lot of the noise with coming out and having a great, successful game against one of the best, offenses on Sunday Night Football.
Justin, we're at a very interesting point already with the Giants here, because the decision to bring back Dable was obviously made, and Jackson Dart was drafted, and we know Dable's offensive background, so you would like to see eventually him get a chance to coach somebody that he liked in the draft and see what he could do. But he's been here for a while, and the first year was good, and Giant fans loved it. It's also proven to be the outlier. At what point does whatever message he's espousing, whatever he's doing, does that lose some bite if there aren't any wins?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's tough, right? Because, like you said, he got off to such a great start in his tenure at the Giants, going and winning a playoff game, and et cetera, et cetera. And the last couple of years have been, I would use the word terrible. They have not been good. But that being said, I am a guy who benefited from the Giants allowing a coach to stay a little bit longer and right the ship. Obviously, it seemed like every 2 years somebody was calling for Coach Kaufman to be fired, right? So, I'm not trying to say that those times are these times, but what I am trying to say is if we can allow Dabo to continue to right the ship at least to the end of the year, right? I mean, again, Coach Mr. Mayer and the Tisch family, they will make the right decision for this team, but I never have liked firing a coach mid-year. I never have liked that. And I'm not saying we're going to get to that point, but I know a lot of people are calling for that, and we started the season 0-2. And to be honest with you, we got a phenomenally tough schedule, right? So, let's say we go 0-4, we go 0-5. Could you see that happening? Yes. I mean, it just could. But, I would like to see Dabo have a chance to truly try to right the ship this season and then make a decision in the offseason. That's my humble opinion, but I don't sign any checks at the Giants, so take it for what it's worth.
Mentors play a vital role in every journey, and Old Spice is creating opportunities to give young people the support and resources they need. Not everyone gets to play in the NFL, but with the new Old Spice NFL collection, you can still smell like you do. Justin, you did play in the NFL at the highest of levels. We mentioned it, winning 2 Super Bowls. You were here in New York when the Giants were the best team in town, winning multiple Super Bowls. How much does it hurt you to see what's gone on basically since with this once proud, great franchise?
I'll be honest with you, right? Me being retired and staying in New York and raising my family in this area, now being a fan like everyone else, I have so much more respect for our fans because I've been in that situation where I want to break a TV watching my Giants play. I am now dealing with the highs and lows of being a fan. And, we'll come to that in a second.
Yeah, no, you're all right.
This is authentic, guys.
We get good in the schoolhouse here. Help the kids. It's all for the kids.
Well, to answer your question, right, it's tough. It's tough being a Giant fan right now because you obviously want them to succeed. And me being a former player, I know how tough it is to win in this league. Even when you have the talent, even when you're playing good, even when you're preparing the right way, it's still very tough to win in this league. So to answer your question, it's tough for me to be in this situation, being a Giant fan, watching my team struggle right now. But again, I'm never going to be this guy that, that falters on it, regardless if they're winning Super Bowls or they're struggling like they are now. I'm going to be the guy that's always trying to be saying an encouraging word to that locker room because I know how easily and how quickly it can switch, right? I'm hoping that they catch a glimpse of that on Sunday and start to really, really, switch it on because, again, I think they're playing right now not to lose games instead of going out and trying to win them, right?
Yeah.
I just remember when we were playing, we would tell our defense and our offense, if we get the ball if we get the game into the fourth quarter with 1 score, there was no doubt in our mind that we weren't going to figure out how to win those games. right? I think this team right now just needs to get something from a confidence perspective of them being in that situation and it working out in their favor, right? And obviously, Dallas was a great opportunity for that. It didn't happen. But I think you're starting to see them play a little better, build up their confidence, and I'm hoping that continues because eventually it's going to switch on where they know how to win those games late in the fourth quarter. And, I mean, that comes with just being there enough and figuring it out. You asked Eli that question. We felt so confident being down 3 or 7 in the fourth quarter. We just knew we were going to find a way to win those games. So that's my hope for this team.
We miss those days. We miss those days when the Giants were the Giants, man. It seems like a million years ago. Final thing for me, Justin Tuck, of course, BT and Sound on the Fan. So we touched on the big picture here with the head coach. How curious and how soon do you want to see Jackson Dart play yourself?
I don't want to see him play at all this year.
What?
Yeah, I like it. There you go.
No.
Good.
Listen, again, that's coming from, I don't think we're set up. My biggest fear is you have this talented quarterback, and I know that everyone's calling for him, but, like, what's hurting him from sitting down? And I love how Russ and Jameis Winston approach their roles with the team. Obviously, Russ is the starter. I love what this presents for Jackson Dart to be able to learn, right? This team most likely will not be a playoff team this year, right? I don't want us to throw a talented quarterback in there or, the quarterback of the future in there and he gets shell-shocked. The game moves so fast. Like, let's give him some more opportunity for the game to slow down, right? And be able to come when he's ready to come. Now, if you told me, hey, Jackson Dart is, the best option, but I wouldn't just put him out there just because we drafted him and everyone's calling for him, right? I would put him out there. I think they're going to start, as you saw against Dallas, start to integrate him on some plays here and there, some things where he can start to get his feet wet, maybe some, little slant passes, screen pass, whatever it may be. But I think Dabo is handling this the right way, and I hope he doesn't succumb to the noise of throwing this kid out there right now, because I think, from the little bit of time I've had with Jackson, his confidence level is so high. You want that to stay that way because he obviously has the talent. So I'm not in any rush at this point. Hopefully we can get into some games. We're up 3 scores in the fourth quarter, and you throw him in there, and he starts to get that rhythm and starts to get that exposure. That's the kind of way that I would like to see him go. And then, hopefully next year he's off to the races.
You going to the game Sunday night, Justin?
I will be there.
Look at you, man. Look at you. And by the way, Rangers season is getting close here. New Jersey's unveiled for the 100th season of the Rangers. JT Miller, the captain. You excited about your Rangers? Yeah, I see you out there at the Garden all the time.
Listen, y'all know me, man. The only reason why I didn't play hockey is because Alabama has no ice. I was with Messier the other night, and I told him, like, man, I wish I could just play hockey without a stick. I would have been that guy that just out there, like, middle linebackers seeking the Sidney Crosby's of the world. I would have
create a new position for you.
Just let me go out and fight people. I don't need no puck time, none of that. Just let me. If I could skate, I would be trying to audition for the Rangers right now. But hey, go Rangers! And I love the Centennial jerseys. I'm gonna have. I don't care how many colors they make. I'm gonna have that jersey in every color they make with probably 4 or 5 different teams. They better have Lundqvist because that's my favorite. That's my favorite guy. So I'm definitely gonna have a Lundqvist, and I'll probably get the captain JT Miller's jersey as well.
There you go. Love it, Justin. Looking forward to seeing you out there at the Garden, and obviously Sunday night, Giants hosting the Chiefs. Confidence is about showing up as your best self on the field, in the classroom, and every day. The new Old Spice NFL collection helps you smell fresh and feel ready to win. Justin Tuck, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Thank you very much. Hope you bring your gin some luck in the building Sunday night.
Pleasure. And I appreciate you guys doing the spot for me, man. I didn't even have to read those by stuff. Y'all got so much better and more elegant standard than I am anyway. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, Justin.
Awesome,
we'll see
man.
you soon. No problem. Justin Tuck, he's the man.
Miss those days, man. We miss those days, dude. He is.
Legend, New York sports legend, 2-time Super Bowl champ, wreaking havoc. That's the defense that we want to see, something like that. Get to the quarterback. Get in somebody's ass. Justin Tuck used to do that. We missed those days. I love the fact that he's still a New York guy.
Oh, he's all in. Big Knick guy, too. Watch the Knicks, too.
Right. Still watching the games, going to the Garden as well. Love that about Justin Tuck. Got to get him in studio next time, Hoff. Come on, what are you doing? All right, BT and Sal, the fan. We'll reset down with the King topic. No, great to have Justin Tuck on. Thank you, Hoff. We'll reset down with the King topic of the day, both the Jets and the Giants. When we come back right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogish.
Talk Yankees and Mets all season long. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Moderna. If Tyrod Taylor plays well Sunday in Tampa, would the Jets have a QB controversy on their hands? Aaron Glenn would not answer this morning when asked for his general philosophy on players losing their job while injured. Glenn also confirming that rookie Brady Cook will back up Taylor Sunday. Jermaine Johnson and wideout Josh Reynolds among the other Jets not facing the Bucs. 9 games left. 3 games between the Blue Jays and the Yankees atop the AL East. The Bombers still in Baltimore, second and 4th the O's. 7:05 here on the Fan. Will Warren, Trevor Rogers on the mound. The Mets have Brandon Sproat back on the hill as they begin a weekend visit from the Nationals. 7:10 first pitch on Odyssey Mets Radio. And the Liberty have a do-or-die Game 3 in Phoenix, 9 o'clock tonight. The winner faces the top-seeded Lynx in Minnesota in the semis starting on Sunday. Fan weather is sponsored by the Tobay Beach Boat Show. Visit nyboatshows.com. The Tobay Beach In-Water Boat Show is back at Tobay Beach this weekend. Long Island's best boat dealers will be there with huge savings. Free parking all weekend, and today, free admission for first responders and military. Visit nyboatshows.com. And that fan weather at 76 degrees, clear skies in Central Park. And that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I look forward to breaking down that game with you, but I know we do have some NFL news to get into and talk about.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM. Me today or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Clogged toilet, leaky faucet on 1. Ready?
Uh-oh, you got a plumbing problem blitzing through the line. Time to audible and call in the pros. Roto-Rooter is your go-to defense for clogs, leaks, and any plumbing fix. Call the right play and download the Roto-Rooter app and easily book an appointment and receive exclusive service discounts. Touchdown! Don't get sacked by plumbing issues. Call in Roto-Rooter, your MVP for plumbing solutions. Download the app today and score big on savings.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch, presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
Game day starts with the right truck, and Arnold Chevrolet has yours. Over 50 Silverado models in stock, from the family-friendly 1500 to the heavy-duty 3500 built to tow, haul, and handle any job. And right now, save up to $7,500 off MSRP. That's right, $7,500 off on select Silverado models. Our loyal sales and management team has been helping Long Island drivers for decades. And this season, we're serving up tailgate deals on our full lineup of trucks and SUVs. Visit Arnold Chevrolet in West Babylon or online at arnoldsautos.com, because nobody discounts like Arnold. Include Chevrolet, select market purchase, loyalty to qualify.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Talk New York sports here.
Ahead of week 3 in the NFL, and it is a very, very, very important week as it pertains to New York football. Both teams, BT, still looking for their first win of the season. We've done a lot of Giants last hour, but we started the show talking about the Jets, how it just feels like that negative cloud that surrounds. It doesn't matter who the head coach is, who the young quarterback is with the New York Jets. You're having to overcome years of losing, the pressure of being in New York, and in Aaron Glenn's case, like many other before him, the idea of being a first-time head coach. And it just seems like after a great week 1 and an awful week 2, a lot on the line. If things start to go sideways for the Jets here, you can see that negative cloud once again wreaking havoc on the Jets.
I think he needs to stabilize this thing a little bit here. You know, not going nuts, not saying that if they lose, the hot seat's on fire. I'm not saying that at all. Nobody's saying that. If you are, I mean, that's unfair. But, you know, to me, what I think was punctuating the early days of Aaron Glenn was that he was refreshingly in charge. And at some point, the results have to match that, though. And, the 34 points they gave up in week 1, the 30 points they gave up in week 2. So there's still a lot of yards. There's still a lot of points, still a lot of penalties, still some lack of discipline. You know, and we talked about this as well when he said repeatedly during the week, I've got to watch the tape, got to watch the tape, got to watch the tape. All the things that make the Jets' job such a hard job, the history, the ownership, the tortured fan base, all that stuff, unfair or not, and it's probably more unfair than not, but it always kind of works its way back into the equation, and it's always heavier than it needs to be. It's always 9,000 more things than it needs to be rather than just dissecting what went wrong in the game. And that's not Aaron Glenn's fault, but I think he needs to do a better job of understanding you can get some separation from the way you played, and you can be honest. I mean, I that doesn't work here. That doesn't work anywhere when you don't have the results. And he doesn't have the results. We're all pulling for him. He's a former Jet. I think he knows the score. I think he knows what's good, what the deal is here. But you can't be obtuse. I don't want to hear it's about the tape. It's really about how you play, and they got to play better.
His way of coaching, you need to either have the results prior to getting here and getting this job, or the results while you have it. And he has neither so far. That's the risk of hiring a first-time head coach. I truly believe Aaron Glenn is the guy, but it's not just about Aaron Glenn, but you already start to see the people being annoyed with him in the media and then potentially going after Steve Wilkes. The number one thing that I want to see in their game on Sunday in Tampa is the Jets start to form their identity. We know what it was supposed to be We haven't seen it yet. Even in week 1, like they ran the football very well, but Justin Fields was the star. He was making the big plays. He had a tremendous day that day. And again, it resulted in a loss, but they need to run the football. I don't care who the opponent is, who their quarterback is, what the situation is. Their identity should be running the football down the opponent's throat, at the very least, trying to do so. The Buffalo game completely got away from them. So that, to me, that should be where it starts, running the football behind that offensive line, which is their strength, and then playing a much better brand of defense that we've seen through the first 2 weeks. That's where this thing has to start, BT. And if they do that, then maybe they could start to win some games or at least play some more competitive football to where people can lay off of Wilkes or question Glenn or be bothered by it. Those are the results that I'm going to be looking to see in week 3.
Fair enough, but you still have to have some answers in the passing game. Everybody knows the Jets going to try to run. I mean, we were saying this over the summer. I remember, 32, 35. I was saying this 35, 38 times. Like, anybody that knows what the Jets, like their roster, knows that they're going to try to run the ball. So when you stack the box here, as the Buffalo Bills did, and dared them to beat you downfield, you've got to have a little bit of an answer here. And they didn't there. So, the Jets running attack should be good enough for the most part to carry the mail most games, but I don't know that it's going to be so good where they could just overrun the stacked box and just shove it down teams' throat. Well-coached, good teams. So that's going to be a bit of an issue here. But I even look more to the defense. Like, I got to see something. I got to see some more resistance here. I got to see they got to stop the run. Like, if Aaron Glenn had an offensive background, I even though they were awful in week 2, I'd almost feel better about this. I'd say, all right, 2 games, one they moved the ball with great ease, the other they didn't, but both games their defense has been porous. Both games their defense has been sloppy, whether it's tackling, whether it's whatever you attribute to being buttoned-up defense. So it is early, but it's never too early to start making a little bit of a mark, whether it's what you say at the podium, whether it's what your team looks like, or specifically to the Jets. How about both? How about you say the right thing, and how about your defense comes in and backs it up? Right,
and I guess the bigger point is the way that Aaron Glenn's demeanor and coaching style and the way he handles the media, I personally love it. I grew up on Parcells and Belichick. Love that. The difference is he does not have the resume. And if you continue to lose, that type of tough talk wears very thin. He's already seen. This isn't Detroit. And he knows that, which is part of the appeal, that he's familiar with the New York market. But he also should then understand that without those wins, that tough talk has gotten guys in trouble before. We saw it with Eric Mangini. We've seen it with first-time head coaches here. That's why this is a very, very difficult thing. The New York media, the history of the Jets, being inexperienced as a head coach. There's a lot of reasons why fans and media would doubt somebody that doesn't have that known, resume, or that is a known commodity as a head coach.
Well, listen, I said at the start of the show, the 2 things that any coach in our city's got to have, aside from a roster and a good relationship with the GM and all the other knowledge and all the other stuff, you've got to be authentic and you've got to be transparent. But I think it's tough to be transparent when you don't have results. I think the easier thing to do is to be authentic. Now, the good first, I think that's easier, and then hopefully transparency comes when you start getting some results there. I actually think that this is Aaron Glenn, which should bode well for them. The Mangini stuff was an act. I think I told you, so I used to interview Eric years ago at the old station, and I would talk to him for 7 or 8 minutes, just kind of shoot the breeze, and then I said, all right, coach, you ready to roll here? It was the once-a-week coach's spot on the old station. And then as soon as I'd say, all right, coming down 3, 2, 1, joined now by Eric Mangini, blah, 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 he would turn into a robot. It would totally change his personality. And I remember telling him one time before, I forget what week it was, but when it was going a little bit awry, I said, Coach, I said, do what you want, because I had a pretty decent rapport with him at that point. I said, do what you want, but I said, I think you should be a little bit more you. Be a little like this, the Eric that I'm talking to. Well, not great. It didn't go great. He didn't change and he didn't stay. But I mean, really, my instincts were in the right place, and my heart was in the right place, because I can hear it. I'm like, this isn't really him, and everybody's going to sniff it out. What Aaron Glenn is presenting, I believe, is him. Right. So I do believe it's authentic, and I do believe it's transferable. So I'm not worried about that. I don't think it's an act. I think Saleh was an act. I think others have been acts. I think this is AG, which is good.
That's why I love him.
Me too.
He's comfortable in his own skin. He knows
Bingo.
who he is. Yeah.
No doubt. You just got to start playing a little bit better.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. And we also obviously talked about the Giants, big game Sunday night. For me, I can't comprehend how people all of a sudden have the Chiefs coming down to the level of the Giants, or the Giants coming up to the level to meet the Chiefs who have come down. That does not add up yet. I'm not seeing. Now, look, anything's possible. Obviously, any team can win a game. I'm not seeing any way, though, the Giants win this game after what they've done the first 2 weeks. They weren't very good against the Commanders, which was a game that most people thought was winnable. They were great offensively against the Cowboys, but still found a way to lose that game because the defense was nowhere near where it needed to be. Also, the offense couldn't do enough in overtime to even get in field goal range to kick a game-winning field goal. So another loss against the team that, like, the Commanders were a good playoff team a year ago, and they're probably a sound team. We'll see what happens with Jaden Daniels. I know he's banged up this week, but they're good. Okay, fair enough. Cowboys, who knows where they're at. I don't think either of those teams are on the Chiefs level, even with the Chiefs not being where they used to be and losing their first games to two very good teams, by the way, in the Chargers and the Eagles. So this is, to me, a very dangerous spot. I actually think we're going to learn a lot about Brian Daboll, Russell Wilson, and this Giants defense in week 3. If they show up and play a competitive game, win or lose, you'll know when you see it, okay, well, the Giants at least maybe turn the corner to be a consistent competitive team. I'm afraid that it's going to go the other way on them, BT. But either way, they have to actually get the result. We're not looking for moral victories at this point in year 4 with Shane and Daboll.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to say this here. I think that the Giants are... I think I don't want to frame it. The Giants are moving more in the right direction. I know that sounds nuts because they haven't won yet. Then the Chiefs are still what they were. So, all right, well, what does that mean? It means that not much, because the Giants, when you're not good and you're just slowly moving in the right direction, that shouldn't be so amazing where people are like, wow, we're going to latch on to that. Let me bet the house on that. No, but it's also born out of the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs blow nobody out. They don't blow anybody out. They didn't blow anybody out last year. They're 0-2 this year. They played two very good teams. We understand that. One team won the Super Bowl last year. The other team very well might be in the Super Bowl this year in the Chargers with a hell of a coach and a hell of a quarterback. So you got to put that to the side here. But I do believe that the Chiefs are coming down fast. And if the Giants can't bottle this up with a good week of practice, and I know they lost, and I know that was a gut shot, the way they lost to Dallas, but if they can't have some good vibes watching film from an offensive perspective the other day as they prepare for this game, well, then I don't know when they're ever going to feel good about themselves. So you have a desperate crowd, you have a desperate coach, you have a desperate team, and quite frankly, Dexter Lawrence has to wake up. Like, we could sit here and talk about, Russell Wilson and Malik Neighbors and when is Dart playing and Burns is doing this and Kayvon's been okay and this guy. Hey, can Dexter Lawrence start playing the way he's supposed to play? Because the first 2 games I haven't seen that guy show up yet on film. Now, I'm not watching film like Baldinger at all. I'm not even close.
He's told us 2 weeks.
But he's the one who told us. Yeah. He told us the first week and then he told us the second week. So if the Giants defense was supposed to be top 5-ish, which is what I thought they could be, then he was supposed to be in the middle of this and everything was supposed to funnel downhill because of him. He shows up. If he does, I think the Giants can steal this one.
And to me, that will be the biggest key for them if they're able to stop the run. Obviously, Dexter Lawrence primary there. Yeah, I just don't see that. I cannot wait to watch this game. I don't see any way, though, that the Giants walk away with a win. And if they don't, that would mean the season, essentially, as far as getting to the playoffs, is over, and then the Jackson Dart Watch officially comes into play here, which, as Justin Tuck just said to us, and I love what his answer, and I said the same thing. I don't want the quarterback to be in a spot where he's going to be in a spot where he can't develop properly. That's my main priority. However, if the Giants can build this foundation here, Russell Wilson establishing themselves offensively, and Giants playing competent football, and you do that for consecutive weeks, even with the losses, then maybe you transition to Jackson Dart and you put him in a spot where he could succeed. That would be my primary goal, not worrying about the postseason, especially if they lose to go to 0-3.
Let me ask you this. So all the football things that we talk about here, what the Giants could do, what they should do, who they're playing, who the Chiefs are, who they no longer are, what is your level of confidence? And it goes all week at the facility that Brian Daboll has his team ready to win.
Ready to win or ready to play?
Ready to win.
I mean...
Ready to win.
They
got to win.
But they don't know how to win. I don't think they're winning this game. I don't think it's a Daboll thing in this particular case. Mm-hmm. Like, if this were a different game, if this were even the Niners maybe, or the Bears, like a medium opponent, at home, I'd be like, all right, let's see what they're made of. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt based off of last week. Even the Cowboys coming in. Like, this is different. The Chiefs are a different animal. Their bad is still 5 notches above the Giants' good until proven otherwise. So I really don't even know if there's much the Giants can do. Yeah, if they click on all cylinders, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, all their defensive studs making big plays all over the field, getting to Mahomes, preventing him from running and making big plays with his legs, taking advantage of any mistake that the Chiefs make. Different story. Clicking again offensively against a better defense. Like, the Giants have not scored touchdowns in years. They score a multitude of touchdowns in one game by the deep ball, the majority of it, against a team who's crappy playing defense.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in that. So I don't know if it's about Dable not having the team ready. I wouldn't say that. I just don't think the Giants are good enough to beat the Chiefs.
So we might learn more about the Chiefs in this game than we do the Giants.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, well, because if the Chiefs don't win this game, they're toast. I mean, you got to be able to beat the Giants.
Even if they win it, they don't play particularly well. Like, they don't score a lot, and that offense is pedestrian again. I mean, again, Mahomes I think he's run for 133. He's got the most rushing yards of any quarterback in the NFL.
I really think, you might be right. Like, my pick in this game, or my feel in this game, has less to do about the Giants and more to do about the Chiefs. And I feel like other people, even though they're on the other side of it, yourself included, has more to do about the Chiefs than it does about the Giants.
Yeah.
I'm factoring in everything, but I don't believe the Chiefs are. I think everybody's prematurely burying the Kansas City Chiefs.
But we both think it's going to be fairly low scoring.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs, even to your point, even when the Chiefs were at their peak, they never covered spreads.
Yeah.
Like, they're not a team that was blowing teams out. Anyway, I mean, maybe
a couple of years ago.
When Tyreek Hill. But you're going back several years ago.
Yeah, no, I know. It's been a minute since they've been that team. They have not been that team for a while.
We'll get back to the calls on the other side. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Nick Costos this hour. Perfect Parlay Picks. Next hour, we do have to work in the Mets real quick, BT, and give them some love from Jonah Tom's performance yesterday. Even though on this jam-packed Football Friday, it's obviously been all football because it is football season. And during football season, you got to make Surfside your tailgate must-have. Real vodka, real brewed tea, just 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. They're easy to sip and enjoy all day long. It's really the perfect drink no matter the setting. Football, pool, beach, whatever it may be. Fall weather, pumpkin picking. It's not a seltzer, it's a Surfside. Ask for it wherever you tailgate. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
All right, our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical, but did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the one before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
It's Friday Night Baseball with the Yankees and Orioles at 7:05 p.m. on the Fan AM 660. Driven by Jeep.
A 1 pitch, swing on a high fly ball. Deep center field, and that ball on cue is out of the ballpark.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play. The home of Yankees baseball is the Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
NFL Sunday's coming. You've got your crew, your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel is coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop, and now we're making it even better. Because this week, FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account. Because that's what Sundays should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/Geo to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. That's FanDuel.com/GIO. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
NFL fans, the Lowe's Earn Your Sunday Tour is rolling into Lowe's of Butler, New Jersey this Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. Interactive games and prizes. Plus meet WFAN's own Keith McPherson from 3 to 5 p.m. That's this Saturday at Lowe's of Butler, New Jersey.
The Mazda CX-30 is more than just a crossover. It's a statement. Step inside and enjoy a refined interior with available leather seating, a sleek 8.8-inch center display, and premium sound that turns every drive into a getaway. Feel confident with standard advanced safety features like Mazda Radar Cruise Control and Smart Brake Support. When on the road, the CX-30 SkyActiv G engine delivers responsive performance with impressive efficiency. Right now, lease the Mazda CX-30 for just $199 a month. Style, safety, and value all within reach. Visit your local Mazda dealer or go to Mazda